Power to the people, I'm back for a reason. If you clicked on this video, I meet you with greetings. Another episode of Part My Back Podcast. It's me, your host, Sebastian West. Follow me on Instagram at _Sebastian West, where you can check out my artwork and all of this splendor. Again, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I got an idea. I think I'm gonna talk about that on the next video I drop. But yeah, I have an idea. I watched a film starring a comedy. Now, with comedies, it's tough to, I don't know nowadays, but it's tough to have a movie that's actually funny without it being OD raunchy. For some reason, it just has to be raunchy in order for it to be funny. Not my cup of tea, man. I think you can be funny regardless. You don't have to be raunchy. So I watched the movie titled Bestsellers, starring Michael Caine and Aubrey Plaza. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. If you don't know who these two are, you've been living under rocks, sleeping, you've been hibernating, you know what I mean? Just get out of your sabbatical. Somehow, some way, you should know who Michael Caine is for sure. And Aubrey Plaza, you should know who she is for sure. You won't see her in that many films, but you should have some sort of idea who she is. If you watch movies, you should know who Aubrey Plaza is. All right. If you don't know, look it up. All right. Oh, if you don't like when I'm kicking, like when I'm spitting, just know when you tune to this, the cloth is different. So yes, I watched the movie Bestsellers, starring these two, Michael Caine and once again Aubrey Plaza. Hilarious comedy. Yo, Michael Caine is I might have to mention him in underrated. Michael Caine is off the hook, yo. He can play a whole variety of roles, and in this, he was funny. He reminds me of just an old guy who just doesn't care, march to his own beat, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. A little brief synopsis about it. He was an author, retired author, who was how can I put this? He retired off. He lived like alone. You know, just had his cat, had his cat, his Jaguar, nice Jaguar by the way. Had his Jaguar. So the Aubrey Plaza's dad knew him. Now she was a publisher, so her dad knew who he was. So he wrote this phenomenal book back in the day, right? It was critically acclaimed. Needed some sort of fresh ideas, so she was like, hey, you know, what happened to this author? Like, what happened to him? Nobody knows. Seemed like he just disappeared. Just wrote this one book, disappeared. Nobody knows. Thin air, just vanished. She gets in her car in New York. She gets in there, goes outside New York, knocks on his door, and he had these signs up there. You just have to watch the movie, yo. You have to watch the movie to read the signs. These small little notes, like they were like, you know, little strips of paper. You know those in the what are they called? Fortune cookies? You know, little strips of paper in the fortune cookies. They were like that, but on his door. So if you know what I'm referring to, just go check this movie out. Honestly, watch this movie. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna laugh. As soon as I read it, I laugh. So she goes there and he's just in shambles, just doesn't care. Seems like he suffers from dementia. But he doesn't. That's just his character. So she has an idea. She pitches the idea to him like, hey, look, what about writing a new book? What about that? He wants the money. Like, listen, I just want the money. I don't care nothing you're talking about. I just want the money. The back and forth between these two is amazing. The witty banter. Aubrey Plaza she is 2 thumbs up. She thrives and rolls like this. It was a 1-2 punch. I like to see the youth and the elder statesmen, pardon me, in films. You know, I like to see that more often. But yeah, Michael Caine knocked this out the park. Man. He knocked this out the park. It was she was promoting the book, going state to state, and a slogan once again, you gotta check the movie out to know what slogan I'm referring to, because I'm not gonna repeat it. He had this slogan, and everybody didn't care about the book. They just cared about the slogan. They weren't buying the books. They were just like the slogan. So she was trying to find some sort of way to sell the book, not sell the image or the slogan, right? She ended up doing so. The book ended up becoming successful. He had this, I guess he told her that was it. Like, that's all he had. This book, this one book, and that's it. Like, I don't care about the fame. I don't care about being popular. This is just one book and I'm done. Like, leave me alone. Go live your life. You live mine. That's it. End of story. I don't care about none of this. She ends up convincing him. She brung a breath of fresh air into his life. Bottom line, breath of fresh air into his life. That's the perfect way I can put this. She brung a breath of fresh air into his life. It gets somber in the end because he dies. So he checks out. He bites the dust, right? Boom. He bites the dust. But he leaves this key for her. She goes in the attic and finds nothing but memoirs, like books that just things he wrote over 50 years. He just had this trunk, like a treasure chest, full of memoirs and books and things of that nature that needs to be published. So that was the end of the film. You know, Carter published and said, "Hey, you want to help me do some editing so we can put these books out?" That's Bestsellers, man. Bestsellers. I would give it maybe a 6.5 out of 10 of Sebastian's artwork. Honestly, 6.5, maybe almost 7. I don't, maybe 6.5. I'm not gonna stretch it, man, because 7 is, you know. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10 out of Sebastian's. 6.5 out of 10 of Sebastian's artwork. Pardon me, man. I can't talk. What's going on today? I don't know what's going on. Go check that out, please. It's a comedy. I know it's not very many funny movies, but I find this hilarious. So yes, check out Bestsellers starring Michael Caine and Aubrey Plaza. Now, if you don't like my reviews, cut me some slack. If that ain't good enough, pardon my back. Remember, Big Shot? It's nothing but a little shot that kept shooting. In the meantime, hold it down. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe, man. Honestly. I'm the only one of the few review channels out there who doesn't have any illicit, explicit content, and you can enjoy it and everybody can listen to it. Enough of that. Till the meantime, holding it down is me, Sebastian West on Part of My Back Podcast. Salute.